Breaking news. This is today's headlines. Does Nnamdi Kanu require Surty to be released? Does Nnamdi Kanu require a Surty to be released? To my dear listeners, from wherever you listen from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. It has been 3 months since the Court of Appeal in Abuja struck out the terrorism charge filed against Nnamdi Kanu, leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, by the federal government. Since then, conversations about the federal government getting a stay of execution from the court to ensure Kanu remains in custody pending the determination of the case at the Supreme Court. Have continued to wear fresh perspective. A fortnight ago, Orji Uzokalo, Chief Whip of the Senate and former governor of Abia, the southeast state where Kanu hails from, said he is ready to stand surety for him if he's released from incarceration. Days later, Chukwuma Soludo, governor of Anambra State, asked the federal government to release Kanu because he is needed around the table to have a comprehensive heart-to-heart conversation on the future of the Southeast. Soludo said if the federal government cannot release Kanu unconditionally, he will stand as surety to ensure Kanu is available whenever needed. The governor said Kanu is critical to the security conversation in the Southeast and is needed to discuss the future of the region. Days after Soludo's statement, IPOB said Kanu does not need anyone to stand surety for him before he is released. According to Imam Powerful, IPOB spokesperson, a court of competent jurisdiction, has ordered the unconditional release of Kanu, and so the discussion of standing surety for the IPOB leader does not arise. Why is Kanu in custody? Kanu was facing terrorism and treason felony charges before Nyako, judge of the Federal High Court in Abuja, and was granted bail on health grounds in April 2017. In September of the same year, soldiers reportedly invaded his hometown in Abia and allegedly killed some persons. During the invasion, Kanu escaped and subsequently fled the country. Nyako later issued a warrant of arrest for him because of his absence at trial. Aloy Ejimako, one of Kanu's lawyers, said his client escaped during the raid as the rule of self-preservation. In June 2021, the federal government announced Kanu's arrest and extradition from Kenya to Nigeria. After his repatriation to Nigeria, the IPOB leader was rearraigned before Nyako on a 15-count charge bordering on terrorism and treasonable felony, but in April 2021, 8 of the charges were struck out by the trial judge. Afterward, Kanu, through his lawyers, approached the Court of Appeal and asked for the dismissal of the outstanding 7 counts for being devoid of merit. In October 2022, a three-member panel of the Court of Appeal in Abuja struck out the remaining charges against the IPOB leader. The appellate court held that Kanu's extradition from Kenya to Nigeria to stand trial was illegal. The federal government later filed a suit to stay the execution in the appellate court, and it was granted. The government also approached the Supreme Court challenging the judgment and subsequently filed an amended charge before a federal high court. Why is Kanu still being held? Although the appeal court quashed the terrorism charges against Kanu, he is yet to be released and is still being held in custody because of the stay of execution granted to the federal government of the appeal court. Stay of execution is a court order to temporarily suspend the execution of a judgment. Does Kanu need a surety to be released? Oludaramola, a senior advocate of Nigerian San, said Kanu was discharged by the court and the charges against him were thrown out. Hence, he does not need anybody to stand surety for him. The essence of bail is that you will be available to defend your case. That is the whole purpose of bail, he told the cable. You are presumed innocent until your matter is determined by the court. But in his own, Kanu's case, his matter has been determined. The court has found him not guilty. So ordinarily, in a country where the rule of law works and operates well, he does not need anybody to stand surety for him. There is no criminal case pending against him anywhere.